Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Curry, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So yesterday I had a very interesting interaction with my wife. She had gone to the to the shops earlier, which is in town, and she was dressed really nice when she left. She looked really attractive. Told her that she looked amazing, and when she came back on the way back, she said she'd forgotten to get something. Would I like to walk towards the shop and get something? So I was like, yeah, I've had shorts on and a t-shirt, but I ended up wearing a jumper just to, because it's allowing a little bit chilly. And I was walking with her. She goes, I can't believe you dressed like this. Because obviously she was dressed really nice, and said, oh, I'm just walking to the shops. I wasn't going to get a massive outfit on just to go to the shops. And she was just joking, by the way. So she was just trying to tease me with what I was dressed, because you've got no sense of style. Your sense of style is whack. I started laughing. I was like, dude, I don't really care what I look like. I mean, when I was 20 years old, I would literally get a whole outfit and iron it just to go to the shop. And I said, now I don't really give a shit what I look like. So we're joking. She goes, well, if you don't up your game, I'm going to have to trade you in. And I was like, well, I'll be devastated at the end of the relationship, but I think I'll be okay. And then she goes, what do you mean? I said, well, there is more of you in the dating market in terms of single moms that are looking to get a guy. And generally, when you're looking for a guy, you're having to compete with women that are younger, more, much more beautiful in terms of just they're younger and might have less baggage. So again, there'll be more of you, and there'll be less of me, high earning guy, who's committed to you as a woman and then committed to the family. And so there'll be less guys that will be like that. So you will definitely get somebody because you're a beautiful woman, but you would have to date down in order to get somebody. Whereas for me, there's no real spectrum. For me, how I judge somebody who's going to come into my life is, in fact, I'll be more selective, because there'll be more women that'll be after a guy like me. And she really thought about that for a second and thought, what are you trying to say? And I was like, my worth in the dating market, within the relationship, I would say we're close to equal, because what I earn, I couldn't earn without her. I'm just probably the driving cog within the machine, but I've got other cogs that are happening within the family. So if she's at one, she's keeping things going. So in terms of looking after the children, making sure that we're all fed, she's making sure that we, the school stuff is done, homeworks, making sure that everything is planned for my daughter and the activities and so on. So she has a massive pull within the relationship. She brings so much onto the table. She's just an incredible mom as well, and an incredible wife. So I'm not discounting that at all. But as we go if we went into the dating market will not view her the same. She will just be a single mom who's got baggage, and most likely if she's getting a guy, she's going to have to date down in order to get somebody who's going to be with her long term. Whereas for me, if I went out there to get a woman who wants to be long term, it would be very, very easy, because again, if I'm within 5% of guys who, in terms of earning, and I'm not saying this to brag, by the way, because the guys in Reignited Men, in fact, all of them earn more than I do. So I'm by no means rich or anything like that. But at the same time, I was just pointing that fact out, that you've been around people. I was speaking to, where she works, there's lots of ladies. In fact, I think it's 90% ladies. So they've got all these different relationships that they're in, and there's some that are not in relationships. I said, look at the people that you work with. How many of those that are over 40 that have relationships, or at least are single and actually dating somebody? She couldn't answer. I was like, see what I'm saying? And I said, how many of those that are in relationships that have got husbands that earn what we bring in, and there was only one? I said, you see the difference? That when you look at guys, there's loads of guys, there's many men, but when you get guys that are within above average earners, or 1% or at least 5%, very, very rare. In fact, the ones that are above average are just quite rare as well. And I was saying to her that it's it's crazy how, started talking about reignited men. I was like, it's crazy how a lot of the guys that are podcast listeners like you guys are actually above it. In percentage, they're actually above average earners and top percent earners. And it's crazy how you guys don't see your value within the relationship because of the knowledge that I have of my value within the marketplace, or at least the dating marketplace, that I could easily replace my partner. It makes me behave in a specific way within the relationship because I know my worth. When you know your worth, you can communicate that. And then in turn, she sees that and then she values you. And that's a distinction. If you don't see yourself valuable, she will see you as less valuable. And she won't value you or value the relationship. And so that was the whole interaction. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, that's how I operate in my relationship. My wife knows that, and because she knows that, she falls into line with the way things are. And it's not for her to feel obligated to follow me because of the high earning and so on. That's not what it is. There's other cogs that are working in our favor in terms of our relationship. But that's one factor that is important, that the way I think in terms of what I'm worth in the relationship, if that lowers, it will also lower her in her eyes. And it's a very important thing for you guys to know. And hopefully this has been something that you can actually consider within your relationship. How do you see yourself? And do you see yourself as worthy? And if you broke up today, do you think you can easily get somebody? Which I think most of you guys can, because you're already shown that you're willing to commit into a relationship. You're willing to be there for the relationship. You're already doing so much to invest into a relationship. So any woman would be lucky to have a guy like you. And you have to believe that. When you do, it changes how you behave in this relationship. Because it's almost like if you look at all the interactions that you have in your house with your wife, if that was a negotiation deal, the person who knows what they're worth always gets what they want within that relationship, or at least in that interaction. Because you know what you're worth. If you don't know what you're worth, then that person is just going to take advantage of you. So hopefully that's something that is going to help you guys to just really reframe how you think about things and how you see yourself within a relationship. So thank you very much, guys. Seeing you soon. Take care.